July 14th, 2024, a Hall of Fame running back, a two-time Super Bowl champion, is dragged off a United Airlines flight in handcuffs. His crime? Asking a flight attendant to stop his son from being poked in the head. But here's the thing about Terrell Davis. Being targeted, being counted out, being treated like a nobody, that's not new for him. This is a story of a running back so dominant that defenses literally could not figure out how to stop him. A man who won a Super Bowl MVP while legally blind on the field. A player who ran for 2,000 yards and looked like he was going to shatter every record in the book. And then, in week 4 of the 1999 season, one single play, one bad decision, and it was all gone. Let's rewind. Before Terrell Davis was running through NFL defenses like they were standing still, he was playing at Long Beach State. And if you've never heard of Long Beach State football, that's because they don't have a team anymore. They shut it down in 1991. Davis had to transfer to Georgia just to have a shot at getting noticed. And even there, he was splitting carries, battling injuries, sitting behind other guys. NFL scouts looked right past him. When the 1995 NFL draft came around, Terrell Davis waited and waited and waited. 6 rounds, 195 players taken before him. The Denver Broncos grabbed him with the 196th pick. A why not selection that most analysts called a wasted roster spot. But here's where the story gets interesting. Preseason, 1995. The Broncos are in Tokyo playing a meaningless exhibition game. Terrell Davis isn't even supposed to see the field. He's buried on the depth chart. But on one special teams play, a kickoff, Davis sees a gap and buries a returner with a hit so violent the coaching staff did a double take. This tackle, this single 10-second play in a preseason game on the other side of the planet, saved his career before it even started. Denver's head coach and offensive coordinator at the time, Mike Shanahan and Gary Kubiak, 2 guys who were about to revolutionize the running game, and they just found their weapon. From 1995 to 1998, Terrell Davis wasn't just good, he was unstoppable. We're talking about a guy who ran for over 1,100 yards as a rookie, who led the league in rushing touchdowns, who powered the Broncos to back-to-back Super Bowl wins. And in 1998, he became just the 4th player in NFL history to rush for 2,000 yards in a single season. Only 3 men have ever done it before him, and none of them played in Mike Shanahan's zone blocking scheme, a system that required vision, patience, and one-cut precision. See, most running backs dance. They hesitate. They look for the perfect hole. Terrell Davis, one cut, boom, gone. He made it look so simple that people forgot how hard it actually is. You had to read the blocks in real time, trust your linemen, and explode through the gap before the defense could react. Davis did it better than anyone. But his most legendary moment? It didn't even happen when he could see the field. January 25th, 1998, Super Bowl 32, Denver versus Green Bay. The Broncos are trying to end the AFC's 13-year losing streak against the NFC. And in the second quarter, Terrell Davis goes down. Not from a hit, but from a migraine so severe he temporarily loses his vision. He later said the field looked like he was staring through a kaleidoscope. He couldn't see defenders. He couldn't see the yard markers. Doctors told him he was done for the game. But here's what the Packers didn't know. Denver sent him back out as a decoy. The Packers were so terrified of him that they stacked the box, even when he could barely see. And in the fourth quarter, when his vision finally came back, he punched in the game-winning touchdown. Final stat line, 157 yards, 3 touchdowns, Super Bowl MVP. And he did half of it blind. 1999 was supposed to be the year Terrell Davis cemented himself as the greatest running back of all time. He was 26, in his prime, coming off a 2,000-yard season. The Broncos had just won their 2nd consecutive Super Bowl. Everything was pointing up. Then came week 4 against the Jets. Denver throws an interception. Terrell Davis, the franchise running back, the MVP, the guy who absolutely does not need to make this play, chases down the defender. He didn't have to do this. He's the highest paid running back in football. His entire job is to protect his body and carry the offense. But Terrell Davis never stopped playing like a 6th-round pick trying to make the roster. His knee buckles, ACL, gone. The play lasted maybe 4 seconds, and it ended everything. He tried to come back, played in just 8 more games over the next 2 seasons before retiring in 2001. The guy who looked like he was going to break Emmitt Smith's all-time rushing record finished with just 7,607 career yards. And here's a question I want you to think about. If Terrell Davis lets the defender go, if he doesn't make that tackle, does he become the greatest running back in NFL history? Let me know in the comments. It took 15 years for the NFL to put Terrell Davis in the Hall of Fame. 15 years of debates about peak versus longevity. 15 years of people saying his career was too short to count. As if playing through a migraine in the Super Bowl wasn't enough. As if revolutionizing the running game wasn't enough. And that brings us back to July 2024. Terrell Davis, a 51-year-old father and a Hall of Famer, is sitting on a United Airlines flight with his family. His son gets poked in the head by a flight attendant. Davis asked the flight attendant to stop. The response? They called the FBI and had him removed in handcuffs in front of his children. The flight attendant later admitted he misidentified Davis as a threat. The FBI released him immediately with an apology. United Airlines launched an investigation. But think about what that moment must have felt like for him. His whole career, Terrell Davis has been fighting against systems that underestimated him, a draft process that ignored him, a league that didn't protect him, a Hall of Fame that made him wait. And now, even in retirement, he's still dealing with a world that refuses to treat him with the respect he's earned. Terrell Davis played 7 seasons. 7. In today's NFL, that's barely enough to get a second contract. But in those 7 years, Terrell Davis won 2 Super Bowls, won an NFL MVP, won a Super Bowl MVP, rushed for over 2,000 yards in a single season, set the record for most rushing touchdowns in a single postseason, a record that still stands today. Most running backs don't accomplish one of those things in a 15-year career. Emmitt Smith, the NFL's all-time leading rusher, never had a 2,000-yard season. Barry Sanders, arguably the most electrifying runner ever, never won a Super Bowl. LaDainian Tomlinson, Adrian Peterson, Marshall Faulk, none of them won back-to-back championships. Terrell Davis did all of it in his 4 elite seasons. And then one play, one split-second decision to make a tackle he didn't need to make, took everything away. But here's the thing about Terrell Davis. He never became bitter. He never blamed anyone. He never turned into one of those what could have been cautionary tales that we see so often in sports. In 2017, 15 years after he played his last snap, the NFL finally gave him his gold jacket. And in his Hall of Fame speech, he didn't talk about the injury. He didn't talk about the years he lost. He talked about that tackle in Tokyo, the one that saved his career before it even started. Don't give up on yourself, he said. Enough people are going to quit on you, you don't have to quit on yourself. And right now, the Denver Broncos are back in the AFC Championship for the first time in years. A new generation of fans is filling up Mile High Stadium, throwing up the same salute TD made famous. Most of them weren't even alive when Terrell Davis was dominating the league. But that salute, that legacy, it never left Denver. And if this team makes it to the Super Bowl, you better believe the comparisons in 97-98 are coming. You better believe Terrell Davis' name will be everywhere. Because greatness doesn't need longevity. Sometimes 4 years is enough to become immortal. Terrell Davis is proof of that. Alright, I want to hear from you. If you think Terrell Davis belongs in the conversation for top 5 running back of all time, regardless of how short his career was, drop a mile-high salute in the comments. I want to see him. And while you're down there, let me know. If TD never tears his ACL, does he break Emmitt Smith's all-time rushing record? I think it's closer than people realize. If you're new here, we tell the stories the NFL doesn't want you to remember. The legends, the tragedies, and everything in between. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss the next one.